All right, what's up, Dragon Brood? Now, we're going to address something because hobbies can be expensive and Magic's no different, but there tend to be some accessories that if you had them would make your life easier when you're going out to events or going to visit people or going to a tournament or whatever it is. So we're going to run down the 6 best, most cost-effective items you should own, and honestly, I think these are accessories we can all use. Now, one of the first ones I should mention, which is one that I think is universally loved, is Infinitokens. You can get these for as little as $12.99 and you get 25 blank tokens. Now the cool part here is generally when you're playing Commander, some decks might have 6, 7, 10 different types of tokens. This leaves you not having to worry about that or use up all that extra space. You can just bring your pack of Infinitokens and you can draw whatever token you want whenever you need it. And the cool part is they can be reused a ton of times. They're easy to write on. You just need a erasable marker and they just wipe right off. You don't really have to worry about it. You just put them away and they're ready to use again next time. And this is one that when I asked around on social media, pretty much everybody said they were on board with having some Infinitokens handy. Now, one that's a little bit of a cop-out, but it is free, so that makes it as cost-effective as we can have, and that's the Magic Companion app. Now, this is good because you can look up cards, you can deck build with it, and honestly, one of the most popular uses for this is keeping track of life totals during Commander games. Because you just keep track of all 4 players, you reach over, you hit the button, all good. So this is one I think you should just download and have. Even if you don't use it that often, it's cool to just have access to it in case of emergency. And again, it costs you $0. It's free. Just download it. And the best part is if you decide to play in any tournaments or anything like that, you actually get to register through your app. You can track your matches. You can report things. It's all nice, handy to have. And again, $0. And that's all fine and good, but let's say you're at an event and you're going to be there all day, and maybe you don't want to run your battery down. Well, then you need some other way to keep track of life. And that leads us to the digital life pads. Now, there's a bunch of different companies that make these and they come with a bunch of different names, but you can generally find these in the $20 range or less. And these are actually really nice. You can use them for all kinds of things, actually. Anything you want to keep track of. They're good if you just want to play competitive 60 card games, or if you want to play a full 4-player Commander game. And they're reusable over and over and over. All you do is scribble down all your stuff, then you just hit the button, it clears it, and you're ready to go again. And this lets you track Commander damage easily if you want to, so it's visible to everyone. Or maybe you just want to keep track of things that are in your opponent's hand. All of those things are options with one of these. And they're so thin, they don't take up any space. And as a weird added benefit, most of them are magnetic, so if you want to just save them in your studio and maybe you're getting into content, or who knows why, you just want to stick it on your refrigerator, like that's a thing too. You can use it to keep track of for notes, maybe for a grocery list, before you even take it out to your next game to play. Maybe you want to put notes because you want to pick up something at your local game store. That'd be a good place to put it, and then you snag it, and you've got a life pad whenever you get there. Now, one of the other most common accessories, which you probably see everywhere and practically every game uses them, are dice. And you can find these in pretty much every variety, and you can get them as cheap as you want or as expensive as you want. Generally, though, you're going to be finding them, if you want a cube of dice, anywhere between as little as $6 or $7 up to about $15 to $20. Anything over that is going to generally be what you would consider specialty dice and not something I'd be taking to get damaged up every time I go play a game of Magic. Now that said, you're going to want a lot of dice, so you want to get them because there's a lot of cards that have +1/+1 counters, or maybe you want to mark them with different things, or you want to track loyalty on your planeswalkers, or for some reason you just need a couple other things to mark your life total for some reason. Dice are good for a lot of different in-between situations, and honestly, there's a lot of board states where dice are going to help a lot. Even more so if you're going to be playing on camera with people, because it makes it easier to track everything that's on your cards. Though that does lead me to the next item, which is you kind of need a place to put your cards and maybe even an easy way to carry around a pile of dice, and those are deck boxes. Now, generally, they come in, again, a large variety. You can get super custom expensive ones that are over $100, or you can get really basic ones. Generally, the basic ones these days are actually very good, so unless you want something with a bunch of artwork or you want some fancy leather textures or whatever, then yeah, you can go with these and be totally fine. So in the ballpark of about $3.99, you can get these on Ultra Pro, and they're actually really good. You can hold 100+ cards, and they're not going to fall out. They're super secure, and not only can you put a lot of cards in there, you can actually fit additional room for tokens and things. So that actually means you don't need nearly as much space if you want to just go out to your local store and carry just a box with you, and that's perfect. Or maybe you just want to toss one in a bag or something. You can put all your stuff in one spot. These boxes, while low cost, are actually very good and have a lot of room, and they can actually survive a drop or two pretty well. Now, the last item I want to mention is a backpack. Now, you will see people recommend all types of things for carrying decks around, but the reality is you probably don't need to be carrying more than 3 or 4 decks with you at a time, usually because you're not going to play that many anyway, and you don't want to put the bulk of your collection at risk. But you do want a way that carries them comfortably and allows you to carry all your accessories, maybe a deck box that's got those extra dice in it, or your digital life pad. And honestly, believe it or not, camera backpacks are a good way to do that. You can find some budget options on Amazon for about $22 to $25, and those are going to take care of you pretty well. They don't need to be flashy, though there are some really nice gamer backpacks out there, but they're going to run you a lot more. These are actually just fine for what you need. I also like the fact that you're carrying something with straps because it's much easier on your back when you're walking around conventions. And whenever you're sitting down to play, if you need to take it off the table, you can always loop it around your chair leg or your leg and make sure it doesn't just walk off while you're playing. So I like the little extra safety aspect you have of actually having straps on whatever type of thing you're using to carry your cards, and these affordable backpacks are some of the best ways to do that. I should also note that if you want to pick any of these things up, I will have them linked in the description below, but I'm also curious if there's any other cool items you think I should have included for people building out their initial setup, because there are a lot of fun options out there for Magic, and you never know what you're going to find. And all these items are good for your physical cards, but if you want to play online, check out this other video I have that teaches you the beginnings that you need to know for Magic the Gathering Arena.